skies and abundant sunshine welcome you to Surprise, Arizona. Spring training ball, and this afternoon, your Texas Rangers are hosting division rival Oakland Athletics. And as always in spring training, the players get a great opportunity to get close to the fans. A lot of autographs signed, a lot of relationships built here in the sunny skies in Arizona. Josh Hamilton getting the job done there. Welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Delighted you could join us for this Saturday afternoon of Ranger Baseball. And Tom, we're going to show the fans today a Ranger ball club that is playing about as well as it possibly could for this time in spring.
They really are, Buzz. And, you know, people will say, well, what does that mean in spring training? And every manager that ever managed will say, my number one goal in spring training is to have a healthy team prepared to open the season. But along the way, it doesn't hurt if your team is also performing well. And when you look at certain numbers, you'll see the team is performing more than well. They're performing very well. Their team average is first in the Cactus League. Their team ERA is first. So they're hitting, they're pitching, they're hitting the ball out of the ballpark, they're stealing bases, they're running the bases, they're doing everything you have to do to win ball games. You look at the Baltimore Orioles. I'm sure Buck Showalter is saying, I want to get my team ready for the season. Along the way, they're 0-10. Right. So getting ready doesn't feel quite as good when you're 0-10 as it does when you're 7-2.
You'd like to get your winning attitude in shape, too, and that's not happening for Baltimore. It is for the Rangers. And the good news also on the injury front is health is pretty much in abundance for the Rangers this year, which is in stark contrast to the way it had been. The Rangers couldn't be happier about it. But we'll come back to Surprise, Arizona, the Surprise Recreation Campus, with the starting lineups and the first pitch right after this on TXA 21.
Big trucks rule the road.
Welcome back to Surprise. Ranger Brain Trust out as they always are in spring training in front of the side of the dugout toward home plate on folding chairs. Jeff Bannister and Doug Brocail, Steve Buechele and company. And the first pitch of the ballgame is grounded to the right side. It's off the glove of Drew Robinson. Billy Burns streaking towards second will stop there. And it's probably going to be an error on Drew Robinson on the first pitch of the afternoon. Billy Burns out at second base now.
It looked like a fairly harmless ground ball to second. Might have had a little bit of topspin on it. In any event, it kicked off Drew's glove into right field, far enough away from him and far enough away from Shinsu, where the runner, Billy Burns, easily got to second. Actually thought maybe about going to third.
Drew Robinson is getting the start at second base today. We've seen him a couple of games at third base, and second base maybe a little bit different look at the ball, and didn't quite react to that the way he would have liked to have. Anyway, a two-base error. Burns at second. Marcus Semien now at the plate and showing bunt, and he'll take ball one. Now Marcus Semien off to a .250 start this spring, 3 for 12. Semien drawing rave reviews from the folks that are watching Oakland this spring. The amount of work that he is putting in on his defense, and that started last year when former Ranger skipper Ron Washington joined the A's as an infield instructor. They put in a lot of extra time, and it really showed in Semien's work the last half of the year, and that's continued in spring training to improve his defensive skills. 2 balls, no strikes. Phil Klein, the 27-year-old right-hander, deals a good fastball, and it's right through there for a strike. Give you Phil at 26 right now. He will not be 27 until the 30th of April. Out of the Columbus, Ohio area. Went to Youngstown State University. What a good fastball for a strike. 2-2. Umpire this afternoon, Roberto Ortiz, is calling the balls and strikes. He's joined by Jordan Baker, Lance Barrett, and Pat Hoburg. Very comfortable afternoon. Temperature in the low 70s. Supposed to get up into the middle 70s this afternoon. Gentle breeze drifting out to right. And Semien pulls that one foul. Sunbathed crowd on hand. The berms out in left field and right field filling up a bit here today. This Saturday afternoon, and the first day of spring break for a lot of folks, and we've seen an increase in the number of folks on vacation out here. Great place to come if you happen to be a baseball fan and a sun lover. Boy, this is the place to be.
One thing I like about our ballpark is there's a lot of shade. So if you're not someone that wants to sit in the sun, you can find plenty of seats in the shade. Some of the ballparks here in Arizona, there's no shade.
Don't have any choice, huh?
No choice. Bring your sunscreen.
Yeah, 2 decks around right behind the dugouts and around behind home plate. Out of the berm out there in left field. And yeah, there is not much shade out there.
There's a guy that wants some sun. Got a lot of room for it, too.
2-2 to Semien. Now full count. Semien hitting second in the order. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Chris Coghlan. A's come into play this afternoon 5-4-1. Bob Melvin's team right in the middle of the pack out here in the Cactus League in Arizona. Rangers at 7-2-1. Got him swinging. Line pulling the string a bit. And gets a big strikeout of Marcus Semien. One away.
Yeah, it looked like a case of Semien looking fastball 100%. Got a little bit of a slider and it fooled him.
Well, 1 up, 1 down, or 1 on, 1 down. Tom will tell you about the A's lineup that you are looking at.
Yeah, for the A's, Billy Burns is the leadoff hitter. He was their center fielder and leadoff hitter last year. Marcus Semien's the shortstop. Chris Coghlan gets a shot at batting third and playing second. Stephen Vogt is the DH. Jake Smolinski, former Rangers, in left field. Max Muncy is at first. Max Chapman, former #1 draft choice, is playing third. Batting eighth, the catcher Carson Blair. And in right field, batting ninth is Sam Fuld.
And you have seen Phil Klein work to a couple of hitters. Snap throw by Brett Nicholas down to second. Not in time to get Billy Burns. Now, Chris Coghlan, one of the new A's added over the winter. Coghlan 3 for 13 in the young spring. That's a .231 mark. A's signed 4 free agents in the offseason, acquired 7 other players that are on the 40-man roster. Coghlan came over from the Cubs in the National League. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Pretty good fastball on the inside corner. Well, Phil Klein, you're second look at the big leagues, appeared in 11 ball games for the Rangers. 2 of those were starts. He went 1-0 with a 6.75 ERA, up and down a couple of times. Made his major league debut back in 2014 in 17 games with the Rangers. In the dirt, nice stop by Brett Nicholas, the catcher. Coughlin's been moving around for the A's this spring. They're trying to find a spot, very much a utility kind of player. And see where he would fit in. He's making his 3rd start at second base. He's also played some in the outfield a couple times in left and a couple of times in right. Chops that one foul, and it's 2-2. Here are the numbers for Phil Klein. Last year, 11 ball games at 6.75 ERA. Walk rate a little bit high. That was one thing that Phil was not particularly pleased with. Opponent's batting average a little high also, but a lot of that comes from pitching behind in the count. To Phil at that real good live arm, and a big guy at 6'7". Full count. Coughlin, as his predecessor in the batting order, Marcus Semien, able to run the count full. Stephen Vogt, the cleanup man, will follow. This one popped up, and it's always an adventure, the high sky out here. Elvis Andrus going out. Jones, the center fielder, calls him off, and James Jones, at the very last minute, gave Elvis just enough advance notice that he was there.
Yeah, that's a good example of communication between the outfielder and the infielder. It's an easier play for the outfield. And once he realizes he can catch it, he calls it off, and Elvis, with his experience, knows exactly what to do. And that's as soon as he hears the center fielder yell, "I've got it," get out of the way. Couldn't have waited much longer, though, to accomplish it.
Elvis looked like somebody shot him. Now 2 outs, and here's Vogt. Vogt handling the DH chores today. Now that's one thing we want to keep an eye on out here too. Those towering pop-ups and fly balls in the middle of the diamond, they can be a little bit troublesome. Take a look at the rest of the Ranger defense. You saw Jones in center. He's flanked by Desmond in left and Chu in right. Infield of Moreland at first, Robinson at second. Andrews, you saw it short. Beltre at third. And Brett Nicholas, he is catching this afternoon. Stephen Vogt, 5 for 9 in the A games in which he has appeared. A couple of home runs, 5 driven in. He's one of those guys that can jump out of bed on Christmas morning and hit line drive someplace. Or home runs anyway.
He's a good hitter, no doubt about it. Cooled off a little bit toward the end of the year last year, but halfway through the year he was an all-star and he was swinging the bat great.
2-0 as Klein sets. And this one popped up. Taking a look is Brett Nicholas with that back on the roof here at Billy Parker Field in Surprise Recreation Campus. There have been a few up there. Rangers out here since 2003. It has been a great situation for the Rangers and the Kansas City Royals, who share the complex. Very much a trendsetter, if you will, and 2 teams going into a complex, developing it, and really having it pay off for them. That ball is hammered to right field. Chu will turn and watch it go. It is gone. 3rd spring home run for Stephen Vogt. It is 2-0 Oakland.
Vogt has a good eye at the plate. Doesn't chase a lot of bad pitches. He's got a short, quick stroke. And he got his pitch. Got a fastball up, about bell high and out over the plate. And if there were no fans out there and just grass, it might have gone right to the top of the grass in right field. Inside part of the plate. And he got the good part of the bat on that one. Good look at his swing and see how quick that bat is, how short his stroke is. Way back there.
So a 2-0 Oakland lead. Vogt with the home run. And because of the error, both those runs will be unearned. But I think Phil Klein would tell you maybe unearned on the scorebook. But that was a bad pitch to Stephen Vogt. Had an opportunity to do some damage with him, and Vogt's the one that did the damage. Jake Smolinski, former Ranger, facing Phil Klein. Smolinski 5 out of 15 this spring, at .333 mark. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jake last year, a 193 mark. Overall, 6 home runs, 26 RBI with Oakland. 2-2. And with Vogt's home run now, the Athletics have 13 for this spring season. Sharply hit off the glove of Robinson and on into right field. Smolinski hitting a hard skimmer out there that kind of sliced away from Drew Robinson.
Yeah, it did look like it had a little bit of left to right action on it, the way it came off his bat. Hard hit ball. Robinson didn't have quite enough time to get to it.
Well, the new Ranger pitching coach, Doug Brocale, out there to kind of settle things down a little bit for Phil Klein. The last 2 hitters with base hits. Stephen Vogt, the 2-run home run. Jake Smolinski, a sharply hit single. And Max Muncy, Keller, Texas product out of Baylor University. Off speed, and it is strike 1. Muncy so far 3 for 13 in his A ball games. Max moving around the diamond a bit. Getting a start this afternoon at first base. That was hit well to center field. Jones has a bead drawn on it. James Jones able to track it down. And that'll do it for the A's. They get 2 runs on 2 hits and an error with 1 man left after a half inning. Oakland 2, the Rangers coming up on TXA 21. 2-0 lead. Tom's going to tell the Rangers starting lineup. They'll face Kendall Graveman.
Shinsu Chu is leading off. Ian Desmond will bat second in left field. Prince Fielder in the lineup as the DH. Adrian Beltre will play third today. Mitch Moreland is batting fifth at first. Elvis will play shortstop. James Jones gets the start in center field. He's batting seventh. Drew Robinson is at second. And the ninth place hitter is the catcher, Brett Nicholas.
And Kendall Graveman deals a drive to left off the bat of Chu. Back at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Now, Smolinski had only time to get back to near the warning track. That was a bullet that Chu came within, maybe a foot of hitting the ball into the bullpen.
That looked like a ball a right-handed hitter would pull to left field. Chu reached out and stroked it the opposite field on a line. Just missed a home run. Needed to just get it up in the air a little bit. Speaking of nice, short, compact swings. Boy, we saw a lot of that the last half of the season last year. That was a daily occurrence with Shinsu.
And a lot of balls hit kind of like that, driving it the other way.
Yeah, he hit not a lot, I don't know, 4 or 5 long home runs to left center field the opposite way.
Right. Now here's Ian Desmond, batting second with Chu at second base. Desmond off to a terrific start with the Rangers, 6 for 13 in the spring. Desmond signing with the ball club the last day of February. Playing left field for the first time in his professional career. And as far as he could tell, the first time he played it since the Little League, maybe. Desmond, a home run and 1 RBI. That home run coming on Thursday, or on Wednesday, I should say, down in Goodyear. He gets plunked by that pitch from Kendall Graveman. Well, the Rangers have their first 2 men aboard. And Prince Fielder coming up.
Pretty much taking one for the team right there. Right? That just grazed his leg. He definitely didn't move away too fast. Get a little Ian Kinsler.
A double, a hit by pitch, and here is Prince. Fielder, as I'm sure most of you know, going back to the Metroplex, doing a sleep study, finding out that he has sleep apnea. So Prince fitted with a CPAP mask and said, finally, got a good night's sleep. But he was very quick to point out that he was not using the sleep apnea as an excuse of any type. Numbers for Prince last year. People constantly said last year Prince hitting well over 300 the entire year. So, yeah, but what happened to his power? 23 and 98 is not too bad.
That's not bad. I think the Rangers would be happy with that again.
2-0 the count. Chu being dogged out there at second base by Marcus Semien. Yeah, guys talk about getting at bats during spring training, and they feel comfortable when they get to a certain number. Some guys say 50, some guys say 70. Did you ever have a number in mind that you felt comfortable after a number of at bats?
There was only a couple of times where I went to spring training with a chance to be a regular, but I think if you're in that position, sometimes somewhere between 60 and 75 felt pretty good. And I was always in a position I would take as many at bats as I could get. I was never going to complain about, I wish I had some time off. I wanted all I could get. So I'm not sure what they're zeroing in on now for the amount of at bats.
I know facing live pitching is totally different than pitching machines, etc. Looper into center. Burns coming on. That's going to fall for a base hit. Chu got a late start. He's coming to the plate to throw, and he is out from here to Peoria. Now Chu tried to score from second, got a little bit of a late break. And Billy Burns shot him down.
The other day, Shinsu was on first base, and there was a blooper hit to right field. He had to hold up to see if the ball would fall in. It fell in, and then he was thrown out at third base by quite a margin. I think once you have to significantly hold up and the ball's hit right at a fielder. It's pretty hard for you to end up scoring on that. It wasn't that tough for Burns to get that ball home before Shinsu got there, considering the lack of a jump that he had.
Well, the Rangers with a hit by pitch and a couple of hits, but have one out. Nobody across. Runners at first and second for Adrian Beltre. And Beltre off to a very hot start, 4 for 9. Last year, Adrian recovering from all the thumb miseries that plagued him. 1 ball, no strikes. Beltre had that thumb cleaned up and repaired over the winter. He said that it's just like he never had any problem now. Doesn't even notice. Which is good news for the Rangers, probably bad news for a lot of American League pitchers. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You see him, he had to hesitate a couple of times before he went. And by the time he made his mind up to go, there wasn't enough time to get home.
The Rangers' interim third base coach, Spike Owen, giving him the go-ahead. 1-1 to Beltre. That's whipped to left field. It is down for a base hit. That is going to score Desmond. Going to third is fielder. Beltre hangs on after a big turn with an RBI single. And the Rangers have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 Oakland. Adrian Beltre with his 3rd RBI of the spring.
Well, he showed the graphic before the game. The Rangers have been hitting exceptionally well. A lot of base hits with men in scoring position. Adrian's been hot. Elvis has been hot. Everybody's been swinging the bat for the most part. Adrian missed a slider the pitch before it. Got one out over the plate. Prince is able to go first to third on that ball. Flo came into second to keep Adrian at first.
The runners at the corners for Mitch Moreland. Mitch 4 hits in 12 trips to the plate, a home run and 5 RBI. He takes the pitch a bit low from Graveman.
You know, Buzz, you're talking about at bats, what the ideal number is. I think it's probably lower today than it was 30 or 40 years ago. I think if you went back in time, you might see that regulars had more at bats back then than they do now. One thing that's a lot more prevalent, I guess we'll talk about it next time.
2 Muncy down to Semien, and the throw is dropped at first base. The pitcher covering Kendall Graveman, not able to handle a throw in to score as Prince fielder. And what could have been a double play turns out to be a run-scoring fielder's choice ground out. It is a 2-2 game.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a pretty easy double play. First baseman gets it to shortstop easily. The shortstop's throw looked like it sailed and sunk a little bit. And as Graveman gets over to catch it, he has to reach down and wasn't able to come up with it.
No, it's just going to be a fielder's choice, and they're not going to anticipate the double play. So Mitch Moreland gets an RBI. That is his 6th of the year, and we will start anew. It's 2-2.
We're talking about differences now as opposed to 20, 30, 40 years ago. The other thing, one thing you see now is all the kids that come up from the minor league games with a chance to play in big league games. You didn't see that 30 or 40 years ago as much. Most of the guys in the games were guys competing for a job on the major league team. I think the regulars tended to stay in the game a little bit longer. In fact, I showed you that box score from March 15th. It's about a week into spring training back in 1969 or 1970. And the Senators and the Dodgers played 17 innings. There were no ties. You didn't stop a game. Played 17 innings, and the regulars played 17 innings. Several guys on each team had 8 at-bats in that game. That's on March 15th, only about a week into the game's playing.
Well, Elvis waving at that breaking ball from Graveman. That'll do it. But the Rangers come back to tie it. They get a couple of runs on 3 hits and leave one after one. Rangers Fans Rangers Spring Training Baseball is live with the MLB.com at-bat app. You can stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and a lot more. Download the MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or your tablet. A crowded Ranger bench, as the bench is for everyone this time of spring. Rangers did make 4 reassignments to the minor league camp. Tell you about that in a second as Phil Klein goes to work. Klein with 26 pitches under his belt. Gave up a couple of unearned runs on 2 hits in the first. Matt Chapman, Tom told you, a highly prized prospect for the Oakland A's, a #1 draft pick. Last season at Stockton, which is A-ball, 250, 23 home runs. So he's got some pop. He has done some damage this spring. He has a couple of home runs to his credit. Also has driven in 4.
Just looking at my briefcase, Buzz, and I came up with that box score I was talking about. March 15th. Again, the games had only been going on for about a week or 10 days. Man, every time I start talking, someone hits the ball.
Well, if you get outs, that's all right.
Anyway, I looked at the pitchers. There were 10 pitchers pitched in that game, 17 innings, 5 pitchers on each team.
Wow.
The fewest innings that any pitcher pitched in that game was 3, and 4 guys pitched 4 innings. That's on March 15th. We haven't had anybody pitch 5 innings. Very few have pitched 3 innings. And in this game, 10 pitchers pitched, and every one of them pitched at least 3 innings, including Darryl Knowles, who was the Senators' closer. He pitched 4 innings in that game. But games didn't end in ties back then. You brought extra people, and you played until the game was over.
Now, Colby Lewis was the first Ranger to go 4 innings. He did that today in a B game.
Yeah.
And here we are, the 12th of March. They've been in camp now for 2.5 weeks. Carson Blair, the catcher.
And 3 or 4 guys had 8 at-bats in that game, and 3 or 4 guys had 7 at-bats. So the guys that started the game finished the game for the most part. And it wasn't like they were younger minor league players. Most of the guys in that game were guys that played regularly for those teams, the Dodgers and the Senators, during the course of the season. That's a pretty significant difference in the way players prepare for the game to start for real now as opposed to back then. I'm not suggesting one way is good or bad, but there is a difference for sure.
Well, most guys, I think back then, Tom, came to camp and they hadn't seen live pitching.
That's the amazing thing. A lot of guys came and opened up their duffel bag for the first time since the season ended.
Right.
And I'm thinking back to the first game of spring training back then. It was usually you had 3 pitchers. Each guy pitched 3 innings.
That's right.
It wasn't like 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Right.
You'd use 3 pitchers in the game.
Yep. And almost all the hitters, almost all the position players, if they were regulars, they were out there for 5 innings anyway.
For sure.
Well, Phil Klein gets a strikeout, 2 up, 2 away. Second strikeout for Klein. And Sam Fuld will come up.
Good pitch, sinking down and away. And occasionally guys would stay back and not make a trip. But as you well remember, when you were in Fort Myers and came across, and when we were coming across to play you went across Alligator Alley for a 3-hour bus ride.
Yep.
And on that bus wasn't a group of minor leaguers. It was the team was on that bus.
That's right.
You didn't stay back and rest. Frank Howard was sitting on a bus going 3.5 hours to Fort Myers to play a spring training game. And that's just the way it was.
Fuld on out to Drew Robinson. And there is a 1-2-3 inning. So Phil Klein bounces back after giving up 2 in the first. That's a 1-2-3 second after 1.5. Rangers 2, A's 2 on TXA 21. Fans, the Rangers are excited to introduce a brand new ticket special for the coming season, 2016. It's $10 Tuesdays. Tickets for most Tuesday home games in select seating areas are just $10. And fans in those seating areas can add a meal deal for just $10. Plus, all fans on Tuesdays will receive $10 parking. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to secure your $10 Tuesday tickets for opening night on Tuesday, April the 5th. Jones had to butt his way aboard, and bouncing off the mound, Kendall Graveman able to make the play. That is out number one. So James Jones trying to use that extreme speed that he has and didn't quite get it done. Nice play by Graveman. Jones, one of the newest Rangers, coming over with Tom Wilhelmsen from the Seattle Mariners. One gone, and Drew Robinson is the hitter. Getting a chance to see Drew today at second base. We've seen him at third, and been impressed by this young man with the swing that he has. 21 home runs last year at Double-A Frisco. 64 RBI for him. He had a ball here the other day that just jumped off his bat. I think the Rangers have almost an embarrassment of riches as far as young, talented hitters and position players. That right now is their strength. The pitching, is good, but the position players. We're going to see a few of them today with Nomar Mazara, Lewis Brinson, Drew Robertson, Joey Gallo. 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike. So Robinson trying to get aboard with one out. Brett Nicholas, the catcher, who will follow in the batting order. Chopper, it's a fair ball right over the bag. Muncy underhanding to Graveman for the out, 2 away. Yeah, Bannister working the dugout. He is going down and checking on the troops all the way up and down the bench. Here's Brett Nicholas. Nicholas 4 for 6 in his appearances in A games this spring. Tied for the team lead with 2 home runs. On the outside corner. Nicholas, a 6th round pick by the Rangers back in 2010. Graveman had his rookie year last year. Saw him go 6-9 with Oakland. He came over from the Toronto Blue Jays, part of that Josh Donaldson deal that the Jays and A's had a year ago, before the season a year ago. Really remade both teams. Donaldson, of course, going on to become a huge part of that Toronto batting order. And Graveman and company coming over, Brett Lowry, to help out the A's. There's the walk garnered by Nicholas. He's aboard with 2 away. Now back to the top of the order for Shinsu Chu. Chu started things off this afternoon by rocketing a ball high off the wall and straight away left field, right in front of the bullpen. Going the other way, and he hit a rope out there for a double. And with the shift on defensively by the A's, Chu putting something in the back of their mind and showing a bunt on the first pitch. Got the third baseman Chapman at least thinking about coming in farther. And again, taking that pitch for ball 2. Not a bad idea. I'm not sure you'd see it during the regular season, but I like the idea that Chu's thinking about doing that down here.
Yeah, for sure. It's something to practice, and probably a little more appropriate during the season if it's leading off an inning to get a base runner. With a guy with power with a couple of outs, maybe not during the regular season, but I'd like to see him thinking about it, because there's a lot of times during the course of the season when our left-hand hitters, if they can get the bunt down, it's the guy on first base. So down by a couple of runs late in the ball game, pretty good weapon to have. Whether you're Shinsu, sometimes Mitch Moreland, same thing.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a great bunt. You just have to make it fair so the pitcher can't get it.
Well, there's back-to-back walks. So with 2 outs, the Rangers making some noise now. Ian Desmond coming up with 2 on. Carson Blair out to talk with Kendall Graveman as Bob Melvin looking on, saying, well, I'm not sure what to tell him right now. Throw strikes, but I'm not sure he would listen to me. Say, what do you think I'm trying to do, Skip? I'm not trying to walk guys. Ian Desmond hit by a pitch the first time that he faced Graveman. Well, Desmond, a key acquisition by John Daniels right after camp got underway. And if you were with us on Thursday, you heard John talk about what happened to the whole situation. The Rangers had talked to Desmond and had expressed interest early in the offseason. Desmond, of course, looking for that multi-year contract, the big contract, and a little more than the Rangers were willing to spend. And as time progressed and Desmond couldn't find a fit, he became willing to go to a situation like the Rangers, where it's a winning situation. The team is a solid group of very cohesive guys. And he said, yeah, that he would certainly consider playing the left field, or trying to. The guy played shortstop his entire time with the Nationals. And from by all accounts, what guys have said about how well he has fit in, a perfect fit in the Ranger clubhouse. Breaking ball hangs inside. It's 2-1.
Well, at the end of this season, if it all works the way everyone expects it to, he'll probably be in better shape as a free agent with the ability to play left field. Everybody knows he can be a shortstop, so the market is there for that position. And if he plays left field well all season long, just more opportunities with more teams for more positions to be able to play as a free agent.
And he's got a chance, too, with the Rangers to bounce back from what was a down year for him offensively last year with the Nationals ball club. Didn't really live up to what he had done before. Hit only .233. Home runs dropped down to 19 after 3 consecutive 20 home run seasons. That's the center field. Coming around third and in to score. There's Brett Nicholas, and boy, Ian Desmond. And we have seen him do that almost every at-bat this spring, and that's hit a vicious line drive somewhere. That an RBI base hit, and the Rangers take a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, worked the count, got ahead in the count, got a hanging slider right on the inside half of the plate, drilled it up the middle. Nice swing.
Well, what I've seen of Desmond so far, we only had a few opportunities to see him in the National League, but he really is a good, solid line drive hitter. You're not going to see a whole lot of pop-ups and things like that from him. A lot of balls not very high with a lot of steam on them headed toward the outfield. So after 2 outs, the Rangers making some noise, putting a run on the board, a couple of walks, and a base hit. The lead 3-2. And here's Prince Fielder. Fielder dumped a single into center field, so he is now 2 out of 12 for the spring. Got Chu at second base, Desmond at first. Prince not thrilled with Roberto Ortiz call on that pitch. Kind of turned around, wanted an explanation, and wasn't satisfied too much with the explanation he got. 0-2. Spring training or not, that hurts. That's no way around it.
Yep. Right on the inside of his right foot.
Oh, boy. Make you do that foul tip two-step.
Some guys take a lot of those, and they actually wear a protector down around their ankle as you get into the season. A lot of left-hand hitters beat that low fastball right down, or slider right into their foot.
Britt's back in. No balls, 2 strikes the count. No. Raven trying that backdoor breaking ball, and somebody put the lock on it. 1-2. Chu had a 2-out walk. He is at second base now. And Ian Desmond trailing him at first. Desmond with the RBI, driving in his second run of the spring. Another one down and in, and that slowly hit out towards second. Conklin on to first. That'll do it. But the Rangers do the damage with 2 outs, 2 walks, and a base hit. A run on 1 hit, and 2 left after 2. Rangers 3, A's 2. Another Ranger. Taking time to join us. Thank you.
Oh, it's awesome to be here, guys. Glad to talk to you.
Ball club, we know the record. Very, very good. 7-2-1 this year. It's got off to a great start. From your standpoint, aside from the record, how has camp gone in your mind?
It's gone very well for us. You know, we've gotten a lot of work done. Guys have really shown up well, great energy. They're having a lot of fun, getting themselves prepared, but they've been serious about the games. You can see their approaches at the plate. You can see how we've played defense, and now the pitchers have shown up to throw strikes for us.
Now, Betty, the couple of games we broadcast, we talked about a manager's job and what his goal is to get his team prepared for opening day. How do you balance getting your team ready for opening day, yet at the same time, whether you want to win games in spring training or not? How do you balance that?
Well, it's a delicate balance, really, because you need to have guys that you can't just throw your core guys out there 9 innings early. You got to build up to the 9 innings. You got to build up to the back-to-backs. And so what we tried to do this spring is the idea of think about the internal competitions that were out there available to us, and then also the external competition. And we wanted to have some things this spring to work kind of organically, in a sense to get these guys up to speed to compete, and still with the effort to get ready. And I think we've done that with a number of things we've been able to do. We've kept everybody engaged every single day, so it's worked for us so far.
You've got the veteran players as Burns takes the leadoff walk. You have the veteran players now starting to play a little bit more. But you have to have been pleased about the look you've been able to get of some of the young players, Mazzara, Brinson, Gallo.
Yeah, that's a special second group, by the way. With the things that we've seen from these young guys are just incredible. Our development staff has done a great job. Scouting staff has done a great job to identify these guys, but to be able to get them ready, to be prepared to come in is you know, it may seem not as big to some on the outside, but for some of these young guys to come to spring training in a major league setting and to compete the way they've been able to do has been incredible, and they've been a fun group to watch, man.
There's been a lot of years that I can think back in Ranger baseball where once the fifth inning came in and the other team put their extra guys in and we put our extra guys in, they had the advantage. That doesn't seem to be the case right now.
No, I tell you what, that second core group of guys, I'd say you might stack them up with anybody's front line. And I tell you what, I told Brandon, our equipment guy, we had to climb up to the top level to get them uniforms down because that's where they keep all the extra big ones.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have any small guys, little slap hitters going out. Let me ask you a question about the young players especially. Now, Joey Gallo had some experience at the big leagues last year, but the other guys, how important is it for him to get acclimated to being in a big league clubhouse and getting used to these guys?
It's crucial. And we got a great core group of veteran players, too, that take an interest in leaving a legacy with these guys also. They know that one, maybe two, or a couple of these guys are going to show up this year. They're going to be teammates with them during the regular season, so they want to help get them up to speed and just the experience of what it takes to come into a major league clubhouse, what to expect, how to walk around, how to talk, and how to fit in. And so it is crucial because it's tough if it's the first time that you step into a major league clubhouse is in the middle of the season, and it can be a bit challenging for a young guy.
You know, it's amazing, too. I think that, Jeff, when you look at these guys, how mature the young players are. And I guess part of that goes back to the mentoring they've received, in part from Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrews, Prince Fielder, people like that.
Yes, it is. And these, like I said, this is a special core group of guys. They really want those young guys to be able to come up and be ready to play. And any information that they could give them and help them along the way is crucial. When you really think about our development staff, Mike Daly, farm director, and all the minor league managers, coaches, coordinators, that the time and effort that they put into these guys is incredible. How they prepare them, and they've all come up with the idea that, look, I'm here to add value, fit in, to learn, and be prepared so that when I'm called upon I can go execute and do a job.
Had a fairly good camp as far as injuries go, Banny. What about Rougned Odor and Sean Tollison? Well,
both of them are close, and Rugi felt a little twinge and a little tightness in the oblique area. And one of the things that we have time, and we really wanted to make sure that we took care of him. He's such an important part of what we're going to do this year. So we want to get him completely healthy. We really want to be conservative with that type of injury because you let that thing linger all year long, it can be problematic. And so he took some swings off a tee today, took some ground balls, felt good. If he recovers from that tonight and then comes back tomorrow and says he's good, we'll ramp it up a little bit and let him take some swings off a pitcher. And if he's good there, it feels good, then we'll get him in the game at his pace. And as far as Tollison's concerned, he's had some lower back stuff in the past, and so it's another situation that we wanted to be conservative with him and make sure that he was right, that he felt right. We didn't want to put him in a situation where we had to back him up anymore. I mean, I'll remind everybody that it's not perfect. It's not how we want to do it. But Vitali only had 2 appearances in spring training last year. I think he pitched a total of about 3 innings, and so he was prepared fine. He was mentally prepared, but again, it's not perfect. We want to get him the innings that are necessary and have him ready also.
Well, you know, Jeff, the additions that you're able to make, Tom Wilhelmsen and James Jones come to mind very quickly, but depth seems to have been a priority as far as providing more depth for the ball club at every turn this past winter.
It shows up every year, Buzz, and the idea of having enough players, and it's not just bodies. Our scouting department went out and identified a number of guys that we wanted to bring to camp, that we wanted to have as part of this ball club, that to create that depth, quality depth, because it took us 55 players to get to where we needed to go last year. We know that we're going to start with 25. We're not going to finish with the same 25, and you're going to get nicked up. There's some inherent dangers that come along with playing this game. Guys get injured. Guys just don't perform the way they're supposed to, and you need those extra players. And so it's not just the depth, it's the quality of depth. I think that our scouts and front office have done a great job identifying those guys, bringing them to camp so that we have the appropriate players in place to give us an opportunity to make a run.
Well, I know some guy that a man that you have been very close to for a number of years. Talking about depth, your third base coach, Tony Beasley. What's the latest on Tony and his battle with the rectal cancer?
Yeah, I tell you what, that tremendous blow, not just to Tony and his family, and but to his extended family in baseball and us as Rangers. Just a close friend of mine, a guy that I've known for such a long time, and when he got the news the day that he was diagnosed, and it was really a tremendous blow. But what I got to tell you about Tony is this is as strong a human being that I know, in his faith. Not only that, but just the grace that he's gone about this, and what he's meant, what he means to this ball club, what he's going to mean to this ball club, and just how he has acted through all of this. He's been through one round of treatments of the chemo. I know that he's getting ready to be prepared to go for the second round. I believe that there's, I think, 4 scheduled, and then they'll reassess the situation, see where he's at. I know that there are a lot of prayers in the game of baseball. Baseball people have come Tony's way, and that's a testament to him as a man, as a person, and we all feel for him. But I tell you what, if anybody's going to be able to fight it, it'll be Tony.
Yeah, and just to add to what you were talking about, a testament to him, I'll give my own. I have never seen him down here without a smile on his face, and that is something.
He's an incredible human being, and that's really what drew me to Tony at the very beginning. The playing ability of who he was as a player, what he meant to his teammates when I had him as a player, and then when he became a coach and eventually a manager, and you look at his minor league managerial record, it'll tell you just exactly what type of baseball person he is. But when you go back and you talk to him and you listen to the long list of people that have reached out to Tony and well wishes and telling that they're praying for him and pulling for him, you just know the impact that he's had across the game.
Well, you're so right about that, Jeff, and certainly Tom and I giving our best out to him and the whole Ranger family in Tony's support. Thank you very much. We sure appreciate you taking the time. It's been great to visit with you, and we look forward to a lot more visits as the spring winds down and the season gets going.
As always, guys, it's my pleasure, and enjoy it. And how about it? Another sunshiny day here in Arizona.
Pretty tough to take. Yeah. Tough to take. All right, Jeff Bannister, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it. And right now, Phil Klein trying to work out of a little bit of a difficult situation. He gave the leadoff walk to Billy Burns, and Burns now over to third, but he has 2 outs, trying to protect that 3-2 Ranger lead. Stephen Vogt, the hitter, and Vogt cranked the 2-run home run back in the first inning. You saw the little confab out there that Brett Nicholas and Elvis Andrews had with Phil Klein about Stephen Vogt. Even though it's spring training, it's time to get your competition going. You want to make sure that Vogt coming up there, you don't want to do something silly. There's Tony Beasley, and that on that Ranger bench, as you would expect. 2-1 the count. Check swing, and it's ball 3. Phil Klein kind of looking in to say, what was that pitch? Vogt, 3 home runs already this spring. His third came back in the first inning. 3 of his 6 hits have been home runs. And ball 4. So Klein very wisely pitching carefully to Vogt. That puts runners at first and third for Jake Smolinski. And looks like that Phil Klein might have reached his pitch limit. It's pretty closely kept. Phil's worked 2 2/3. So Jeff Bannister out to take the ball from the big right-hander. He will leave with a lead at 3-2. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. And we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back after this timeout on TXA 21.
Dad's telling the
Well, fans enjoying a beautiful sunshiny afternoon out here in Surprise, Arizona. Pitching change brings in Francisco Mendoza, the 28-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic. Mendoza, last season with Round Rock, appeared in 32 ball games at AAA with a 2.68 ERA. Opponents hit 2.53 against him. He inherits runners at the corners and facing Jake Smolinski, who backs out away from that sidearm slant of Mendoza for strike 1. Mendoza split time last year between Frisco and Round Rock, his first foray into the AAA level. And Smolinski skies one to right center field. Jones fighting the sun with that glove, and James Jones in front of Shinsu Chu handles it, and Mendoza gets the final out. 2 left aboard on a pair of walks for the A's, 2.5 in the books. Rangers 3, Oakland 2 on TXA 21. The Rangers maintaining that 3-2 lead as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nice crowd on hand here this afternoon, and Adrian Beltre going after the first offering from Kendall Graveman and chops it foul. It'll be Beltre, Moreland, and Andrews here in the Ranger 3rd. Adrian an RBI single in the first inning. He is now a .500 hitter this spring. He is 5 out of 10. 3 RBI for the Ranger third baseman.
The buzz earlier, you were talking about all the Ranger fans here in Arizona to watch spring training. I bumped into a couple in the parking lot of the hotel I'm staying at the other day. They were from Lindale, Texas. Ralph Miles had driven down here with 4 young kids, John Frank, Tate Comer, Kyle, and Chris Bond. And I don't think I've ever seen 4 kids, I guess they were probably about 20 years old, more excited to be here in spring training than those 4 kids. They were just having a blast. They were here early today watching the B game, here watching the A game. So Ralph, thanks for bringing the boys here, and I hope you continue to enjoy spring training from Lindale, Texas.
The 2-1 pitch to Beltre. Will even things up.
I might mention, too, I'm pretty sure Shirley Coast is watching the game with her husband, Cal. Shirley, of course, is our cookie lady. She had some surgery and was unable to make it to spring training this year. And I don't think there's anyone more disappointed about not being here than Shirley is. She and Cal would come down for almost the whole month of March and go to all the games. They knew all the people over at the Windmill where they've stayed all these years. And Shirley's recovering. Shirley, I hope you're watching, and I hope you're feeling better. Everyone with the Rangers sends their best and hope to see you on opening day. Cal, I know you've got a lot of friends out in right field where you usher, and they'll be looking forward to seeing you when the season starts. Sorry you're not here, but hopefully we'll see you both during the season.
Yeah, that breaks a pretty long streak for them. They have fixtures down here.
Yep.
I think as a matter of fact, every spring that the Rangers have been down here, I believe they've managed to get the time in here. And Adrian Beltre backing out on his way to first, and he is called out on strikes by Roberto Ortiz, the home plate umpire. Not too much of an argument from Adrian. He feels like he had a pretty good look at that pitch.
A little bit late movement on it that Adrian might have felt brought that ball inside and not on the corner.
Second strikeout of the afternoon for Graveman. And that brings up Mitch Moreland. Moreland, an RBI on a fielder's choice grounder. And he's going to try to bunt one down there. Yeah.
And I think sometimes if you're not accustomed to bunting, which obviously Mitch is not accustomed to bunting, the tendency is to try to lay down a perfect bunt, roll it right down the line and make it perfect. And really with a third baseman playing back at shortstop, you don't have to make it quite so perfect. The key is the element of surprise and keeping it fair so he can take advantage of the opportunity. You have to keep it far enough away from the pitcher where he can't field it and make the play.
You say you probably, if you get it by the pitcher,
it's over. Yeah, pretty much over.
Well, there's that thing we saw in spring training. Well, now, Mitch tried that one time in the regular season I can remember. He may have tried it more than that, but bunted it foul just like he did this pitch. 1-1. Pitch with a couple of walks mixed in there too. That 1250 OPS on base plus slugging. Talk about the B game this morning. Colby Lewis worked 4 innings in that ball game. Sam Freeman worked 2/3. White Sox were the opposition. Matt Latos worked 3 1/3 in that. Off the end of the bat out to the third baseman. That's Chapman playing over at the shortstop spot. Mitch is retired, 2 gone. In that B game this morning, Brian Cordell and Lewis Brinson each had a couple of hits. Cordell had a home run off of Latos.
Well, we've had a chance in the games we've done to see both of those kids play quite a bit. And you're talking about 2 terrific athletes, guys that can play defense, they can run, they can throw. 2 really nice young prospects.
Yeah, Ryan Cordell, that the play we saw him make yesterday down at Maryvale.
That was beautiful.
Goodness, he must have run 35 or 40 yards. Dead sprint into the gap in right center field and took a ball. Took extra bases away.
He didn't shy away from the fence either.
No. Elvis Andrus struck out his first time. He gets fisted here. And Ball just goes into foul territory. It's 1-2. Elvis off to a very good start this spring, 5 for 9 in the early going. Elvis has reached base safely now in 8 of his last 12 plate appearances. I mentioned the Rangers' highest batting average in the spring training altogether, whether it be in Florida or here at 337. On base percentage 388. Both those are tops. Club also with the second most hits in Arizona with 123, and the only reason they're second is because they haven't played as many games as the front-running Arizona Diamondbacks. Same situation with runs scored. Rangers with 69 runs scored now in their 11 ball games. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball from Graveman, who gets his third strikeout, second of the inning. Rangers gone in order after 3 complete. Rangers still leading the A's 3-2 on TXA 21. Start of the first weekend at home for the Rangers this year. They continue a 4-game series with the Baltimore Orioles, and the first 15,000 fans will receive an AL West Champions flag. That's courtesy of TXU Energy. Head to TexasRangers.com to get your tickets today for that April the 15th. It's also tax day, by the way. Now the Rangers get that championship flag flying here in Surprise, Arizona. Rangers back out to the field, starting the top of the 4th inning. And Max Muncy leading off against Francisco Mendoza. Muncy flied to center field his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Max, as we mentioned, a Baylor product. Grew up in Keller, Texas. Mendoza slings that in for a strike. It's 1-2. Max this spring still looking for his first RBI, batting at .214. Check swing foul. Well, Mendoza, talking about it. I said sling, and he does sling that thing. Looks like a slingshot. Gets that arm back, and he really whips it through there. Makes my shoulder hurt watching.
Sneaky velocity with it.
Yeah. Just inside, 2-2. Well, Mendoza is 6 feet tall and 205 pounds. I say just 6 feet. For right-handers anymore, that's fairly short. Full count. Muncy trying to get aboard to start off the A's fourth inning. He'll be followed by Matt Chapman. Mendoza, a Ranger since he signed as a non-drafted free agent back in 2008. And he misses high and away. So the leadoff walk puts Muncy aboard. Chapman coming up. Chapman, a ground ball to short as he led off the second inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Phil Klein, by the way, the line for the tall right-hander this afternoon, 2 2/3 innings, 2 runs, none of them were earned. 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Beltre to second, and the return to first by Robinson. Around the horn double play. There you go. That's how you take care of a leadoff walk. At 2 ball, and the bases are empty.
We saw Drew start a double play from third base in yesterday's ball game and get a great throw to second base. He does a nice job turning this one. Long throw from Adrian. And watch Robinson come across the bag, get rid of it quickly with something on it. Nice play.
Pretty fancy footwork right there.
Pretty good. Not sure how much second base he's played before. Like he's played enough to do a pretty nice job showing that double play, though.
Now Carson Blair, the catcher, taking strike 1. Blair went down swinging in the second. I mentioned Drew Robinson, the Ranger second baseman today. We seen Drew play at third. He looked very good down at the hot corner. He showed a real strong arm. But, starting at second today, and heard Jeff Bannister also talk about Rougned Odor, the Rangers second baseman, about his progress. Elvis gets a nice hop, and that will do it. So the leadoff walk erased on the twin killing. Turns into be a 1-2-3 inning after 3.5. The Rangers leading Oakland 3-2 on TXA 21. The Rangers leading in the run column. They have also out-hit the A's 4-2. They lead 3-2 score-wise, and a new pitcher now as the starter Kendall Graveman finished after 3 innings work. It's the left-hander Daniel Coulombe, 26-year-old, out of St. Louis, Missouri. Lives down in the Scottsdale area now, and Coulombe came over to the A's last year. September trade with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Coulombe filling a spot in that A's bullpen for the last month of the season. The situational left-hander appeared in 38 ball games last year at AAA for the Dodger club. Worked in 9 games with Oakland and a 3.52 ERA. Working to James Jones to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th, and Coulombe fires a strike. Jones tried to butt his way aboard as he led off the 2nd inning and was thrown out by the thin pitcher, Kendall Graveman. Pretty good breaking ball from Coulombe. 0-2. James Jones, of course, in the mix for one of the 2 outfield spots available. The backup. Jones, Drew Stubbs, also in that mix, have the ability to play center field. That's going to be, I think, one of the requisites for whomever wins that competition. Be able to play defensively in all 3 spots, but primarily, or especially in center field with that kind of speed. And Jeff Bannister would like to have the ability to use speed off the bench, both offensively and defensively late in the game.
Oh, geez.
Fastball got away from Coulombe a little bit, and James Jones straightened up and couldn't get out of the way. So he is aboard, being plunked to start off the 4th inning.
I don't think Daniel had that in mind. He got ahead with a fastball, made Jones chase a breaking ball down and away. And that one hits him right in the backside, about 3 feet inside on the other side of him. That one just plain got away from Daniel Coulombe.
You see James Jones trying to figure out which way to go and couldn't get out of the way.
You know, it's easy when it's in front of you. You bend backwards. That's what you see 99.9% of the time. The one that's behind you like that, it's hard to react the other way and go forward. You're so conditioned to back away from it.
No, Jones with his very good speed at first base and nobody out. Drew Robinson, a tapper down to first, his first time up.
Yeah, it's a great weapon for a manager to have a guy on the bench who can come in late in the game and steal a base. For a couple of years, the Rangers had Craig Gentry, and there was probably not 2 or 3 guys in the league better at that than Craig Gentry. Come in at a time where you need that extra base. Everyone knows you're going to try, and the other team has a hard time preventing you from doing it. That's a nice thing to have, one of your extra men, to have that kind of speed to be able to do that if you have that luxury.
Yeah, Craig had back-to-back years where I think he's only thrown out twice in those situations.
Yeah.
Gentry now an opportunity with the Angels to maybe win at least a platoon role in left field down there. One ball, no strikes is the count to Drew Robinson. Coulombe, kind of a smallish left-hander, 5'10", was about 190. Very high. 2 balls, no strikes. Coulombe was a 25th round pick of the Dodgers back in the 2012 draft. And the off-speed pitch misses, so it's 3-0. Coulombe got ahead of the left-handed hitting James Jones a couple of strikes and hit him with the pitch. Now he's fallen behind another left-handed hitter, and Drew Robinson. 3 balls, no strikes. And ball 4, he lost him. A hit by pitch, and the next hitter, 4 pitches, not really close. 2 on with nobody out, and Brett Nicholas coming up.
And he comes into a point in the game where the first 4 hitters he'll see are all left-hand hitters. And in most cases, the manager is looking for your lefty to be a guy that can come in and get lefties out. I don't think there's ever a time where he's not looking to if you get the lefty out this time.
Bunted foul. It's 0-1. Well, you might take a look at batting practice. Try
to make the hitters look good.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of left-handed relievers who can throw a breaking ball for a strike and pitch 15 years in the big leagues till they're 38 years old.
Well, you aren't kidding.
Rangers have one, Darren Oliver, working for the team now, doing a great job as one of John Daniels' trusted advisors. Darren was a starting pitcher when he was younger. Then went into a relief role and pitched till he was 40 years old.
Well, I don't know how in the world Carson Blair got his body in front of that.
It was a major effort to do it. He accomplished it. That ball bounced way out in front of him. He still managed to block it.
Yeah, that was one that was stayed down. That was coming up. A nice job by Carson Blair. Rangers not able to advance. Well, the count is 1-1 now. Nicholas with a good rip at bat. Fouls it back. It's 1-2.
Brett had a base hit against Sean Nolan in yesterday's game. Nolan came in, pitched 2 innings. I think he struck out 5. The only base runner was Brett, who ripped a base hit to right field, hit it sharply. It's a lefty that was dealing yesterday.
Sean Nolan, a former A's, was part of that Josh Donaldson deal. Now with Milwaukee. Yeah, Nolan, that's as well as I can remember of him throwing.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Now 3-2. Nicholas able to battle back, run the count full. Coulomb getting ready to throw his 14th pitch. Has not retired a man. He has hit a batter and walked a man. Now the left-hander will come in with the 3-2. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for the top of the Ranger order.
Well, ever since that pitch got away, 0-2 and hit James Jones, Coulomb's had a hard time. Walked Robinson, walked Nicholas, faced 2 young left-hand hitters, walked 2 of them and hit the other one.
Bob Ellen trying to figure out, okay, what's this guy's pitch count? If he's up near it, I'm going to see if I can go to the bullpen. Nobody in the A's bullpen right about now, though. Shinsu Chu, 1 for 1, a walk and a double. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson Blair getting his work in behind home plate, too. He has had to scramble around. Chu 4 out of 14, a 286 average for the spring. Trying to add to the Ranger advantage as he takes high 2-0. Kurt Young, the A's pitching coach, didn't look like he really wanted to go out there. They probably didn't know what to tell him. His son, the skipper's getting angry with me. You're not throwing strikes. What's the deal? So conference concluded. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases full, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers trying to add to their 3-2 advantage. As you will see some hitters do after a pitching coach talk with the pitcher, he will turn it loose, hitter figuring that pitcher is going to try to do anything he can to throw a strike with a fastball. Chu just couldn't quite get it. Three and 1. Chu batting leadoff today. Ian Desmond with James Jones at third base. Drew Robinson at second. Brett Nicholas over at first. Ground ball, diving stop at second base, the throw, and he got it.
Well, that's some kind of play. It looked like that ball was by him, and he dove for it, angling out toward right field. It's play by Coughlin to get the force out at second base. I thought that ball was in right field for 2 runs. See him playing a double play depth. Reaction in the dive. Makes a beautiful play to get the out at second.
Coughlin fully extended the almost shallow right field to make that play. Nice job by Coughlin. Chu gets the RBI, his first of the spring. Rangers have increased their lead now to 4-2. Runners at the corners with 1 out for Ian Desmond. Desmond 1 for 1 today, an RBI single his last time to the plate. Takes ball 1 from Coulomb. Ian Desmond, when he first came over to the Rangers, he said, look, when I get myself ready for games, there's a pitch all the way to the backstop. Blair couldn't get that one. In to score from third is Drew Robinson. It's a 5-2 Ranger lead. On the wild pitch, and down to second goes Chu. Carson Blair, who had blocked almost everything in sight, finally had one that he couldn't get his body or a glove on. Like a sharp slider that Blair couldn't center up. 3 balls, no strikes. Desmond came over and immediately said, you know, I'm going to play left field. Put me out there every single day once I get my game legs under me. And that's what's happened. Takes the walk. 2 on with 1 out. Prince Fielder now coming up. Third walk of the inning issued by Daniel Coulomb. 3 walks, a hit batter, and a fielder's choice with a wild pitch for 2 runs. Fielder 1 out of 2. Fielder had a single and a run scored in the first inning. Grounded out to second in the second. Backs away from that hanging breaking ball. It is 1-0. The Rangers have been the beneficiaries of 2 hit by pitches in this ball game and 5 walks.
I'm not keeping the pitch count, but I'd love to know what his pitch count is for this. It's got to be over 30.
It's a bunch. How about 26?
26. Wrong again.
Well, you were close, though.
Ah, there it is. I had the glare on my screen. I couldn't see it.
Coulomb's next pitch, and Fielder drives one to left center field. Burns can't get it. It's over his head as he and Smolinski came together. Chu coming around third. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. Chu able to score as the A's had a little miscommunication in the outfield. Prince Fielder at first.
Yeah, Smolinski never got out of the way of Burns, and I don't know what the communication was, who called for it, who didn't call for it. But as Burns comes over to catch it, he sees that Smolinski's not stopping and took a little hop, tried to avoid the contact. Jake was not getting out of the way till the very end, so maybe if Burns did call it, he called it a little bit too late. Tough to tell on that part, but definitely a ball that could have been caught.
Well, that's going to do it for Daniel Coulomb. He's only able to get 1 out here in the 4th inning, and the Rangers so far have put up 3 runs on the board. So a pitching change underway. We will take a break and be back right after this on TXA 21.
These creamery shakes are so
The Rangers putting 3 on the board and still have only 1 out here as they are trying to get to the A's, and they have done it very well so far. New pitcher is Edward Santos. Prince fielder out as a pinch runner has come on for Prince. Santos, big right-hander. And he misses to Beltre outside for ball 1. Santos, a 26-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. 6'2", about 220 pounds. Last year, AA Arkansas, worked in 39 ball games. And Beltre takes high. Braylon Perez is the pinch runner at first base. Prince fielder out after 3 at-bats today. That last play, by the way, was scored as an error charged to Jake Smolinski, the left fielder. And Santos missing wide. 3-0. Beltre 1 for 2 this afternoon. That single giving him an RBI also in the first inning. And Santos finds a strike. Santos originally property of the Angels organization. LA signed him back in 2007, a non-drafted free agent. And he was taken by the A's as a minor league free agent. And Perez picked up. Now the throw down to third, and back in time is Desmond. As Max Muncy thought he had Ian Desmond straying too far from the bag, and the throw not in time. And down to second goes Perez.
That was good base running. Take a look at Desmond, what he does. They got the rundown. Desmond takes a couple of steps toward home. He was going to go if the throw went to second, but he's such a good athlete that he's able to put on the brakes and get back to third, lure the first baseman's throw, and allow the base runner, Braylon Perez, to steal second base.
And Beltre drives it to right center field and deep. Going back is Fold at the wall. Goodbye. Adrian Beltre driving it out to right center field. A 3-run blast. The Rangers have opened it up. It is 8-2.
That's a 6-run inning. That's the first hit of the inning.
9-2, excuse me. Yeah, that is the first hit. And it was the one that counted. Beltre's first home run of the spring. All of those runs, 6 of those runs, 5 of the 6 runs, charged to Daniel Coulomb. One of them unearned. Beltre getting that pitch out away from him. Boy, he can drive that the other way with the best of them. Here's Mitch Moreland. No balls and a strike. That ball's ripped to center. Burns turning around a couple of times and reaches up to haul it in.
Wow. That's a textbook play by a center fielder. He got off at the crack of his bat, turned his back to the ball, sprinted to a spot, reached up, lunged, and made a catch. That's a beautiful play. Hardest play for a center fielder is that line shot hit directly over your head. And he got a good jump and didn't drift after it, didn't look at it originally. He just turned his back and sprinted a couple of steps, got there and made the play. Very nicely done.
2 gone. Here's Elvis. 1 strike. Give you another look at Adrian Beltre's drive to the berm in right center field. Out amongst the folks. The Rangers, that's their 10th home run of the spring. A ball and a strike. Elvis has struck out both times that he has come to the plate this afternoon. 0 for 2 and now 5 for 10 for the spring. Two and 1. Ever-present smile on Adrian Beltre's face. Unless and until somebody passes his head, and that smile disappears. Elvis reaching and pops one up on the infield. And dropped by the third baseman Chapman. And Elvis is going to be safe. Chapman got caught running up the slope of the mound and then coming down the other side. And the ball pop out of his glove.
A forgettable inning for the A's for sure. One of those pop-ups. Probably the guy who had the best chance to catch it was the pitcher.
Yeah.
But that's tough as an infielder. You're watching the ball. You have to watch the ball to try to catch it. Then you go up the slope of the mound. It throws your equilibrium off a little bit.
No, Santos will be forced to work to an extra hitter. Now it's James Jones again, who started this inning. It's fouled off to the left. Jones began things by being hit by a pitch from Daniel Coulomb. Jones came around to score on a fielder's choice ground ball off the bat of Shinsu Chu. Rangers 9 runs in this game on 5 hits. Santos throwing one about 89 miles an hour over there to first. Now Santos ready. Right-hander, a check of Andrews. The Rangers now this spring have scored 75 runs. This is their 11th game. in the dirt. And swinging strike 3. Blair gets the out at first, and that'll do it. But the Rangers score 6 times on just 1 hit. There were 3 walks in the inning, a couple of errors, and 1 man left. We'll go to the 5th inning here in Surprise. It's the Rangers 9 and the Athletics 2. Well, welcome back to Surprise. Rangers have broken this game open. It's now 9-2, a 6-run bottom of the 4th. And we head to the top of the 5th inning. Connor Sadzik, hard-throwing right-hander, will come out of the Ranger bullpen and take over on the mound. So Sadzik, last season with Double-A Frisco, 7 ball games, a 1-1 record. Rather unsightly ERA, but the walk's the big issue for him. 17 walks and only 16 strikeouts in his 19 innings. So that's the project, I guess you would say, for Connor Sadzik to work on cutting down the walks. Sadzik to face Sam Full to start off the 5th inning, and Full takes strike 1. Full to ground ball to second, his only trip to the plate today. Rangers scoring 6 runs and with only 1 hit. That had to be a 3-run home run by Adrian Beltre. There are 3 walks, 2 errors in the inning, hit by pitch. Whatever could go wrong for the A's went wrong.
Oh, boy. Luckily, Full wasn't 6'5". He might not have been able to duck underneath that ball.
The way things are going today, I'm not sure too many hitters are going to be digging in with anybody out there. Holy cow. Sadzik, a big guy at 6'7", 240 pounds. And Full lofts a fly ball to left. Desmond calling off James Jones, and I think for Ian Desmond, that's maybe his 3rd fly ball that has been hit his way in the spring.
You know, he's not catching them like he's worried about it. Sometimes you'll see a left fielder. You know, it's probably not fair to mention Mike Napoli because he's a catcher. But Desmond, when he goes after a fly ball, looks very confident and doesn't look like he's battling at all, which he's probably not. Remember the one Knapp caught in Texas? It was kind of routine pop-up to him. He got to it, reached, jumped up before the ball got to his glove, and then came off the field with his hands over his head practically.
Yeah.
Yes! Rangers ran into some uncanny good fortune in that experiment. There just weren't that many balls hit out there. And Knapp got some big hits while he was playing out there, too.
Chopper by Burns, going to be a tough play. Sadzik covering the bag, and the throw not in time.
Oh, see that coming.
Yeah. Burns can get down that line, and as soon as Mitch Moreland backed up to get a bigger hop, well, Burns put it in high gear. That's an infield single.
It's a kind of a question whether Sadzik can get over there and beat him to the bag, and couldn't quite do it.
To his credit, he made that extremely close. No, just the third hit of the afternoon for Oakland, and Marcus Semien gets fisted and pulls a pitch foul. New third baseman in the ballgame, by the way. Adrian Beltre's afternoon has come to a close. Hanser Alberto is the new Ranger third sacker. Oh, 0-1 to Semien, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. One ball, one strike. Semien facing Connor Sadzik. We talked about big right-hander with extreme velocity. There goes Burns, a breaking ball, and it's taken for a ball, and Burns has his second stolen base.
Burns stole 26 bases last year for the A's. He was thrown out 8 times, 26 out of 34.
Burns at second with 1 out. 2-1 is the count. And Semien couldn't check his swing in time. 2-2. Big, tall right-hander Connor Sadzik getting set to work the 2-2 offering. Sadzik had committed to go down to University of Texas in Austin, continue his college career. He pitched out at Howard and in Big Spring, and then decided to go ahead and sign. He was selected by the Rangers in the 11th round of the 2011 draft. Elvis gobbles that up and throws out his counterpart. 2 gone. Now Sadzik will face Chris Coughlin. Coughlin today, a couple of fly balls, one to center, one to right. Sadzik, and it almost goes without saying anymore, had Tommy John surgery, missed the entire 2014 season. It seems like if you hadn't had that now, and you're going to. Center field, Jones retreating. That'll do it. Well, the infield single, no damage. 1 hit, 1 left. Halfway through the ballgame from Surprise. Rangers 9, Oakland 2. Texas Rangers baseball on TXA 21 is sponsored by Gaylord Golf Mecca. Visit GaylordGolfMecca.com to win a trip for two at America's summer golf destination. Well, the Ranger pitching contingent finished for the afternoon. They are headed through the gate down there. So we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. I'd like to welcome in one of the Rangers that has finished for the afternoon. A guy that had a lot to do with the Ranger outburst today. Shinsu Chu. Shinsu, thanks very much for joining us. A good afternoon. This ball club has really been on a roll, scoring runs. You were right in the middle of it today.
Yeah, I always, playing the game is my job is on base. See the ball, see a lot of pitches, swing a good pitch, try help with my next hitter, So that's mainly seems like game change. We give it another pitch for pitchers, game change.
Shinsu, as a veteran player, when you come to spring training, your goal is to get ready for the season. How do you prepare yourself for the season this early in spring training? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, always healthy, man. Last 2 years I have 4 or 5 different injuries, so I have a tough years last 2 years. So always healthy. You want to 0 for 4, you want to hit it 5 for 5. You're not healthy, you're not in the lineups. You don't have a chance to hit it 0 for 4 either. So myself and then our team, health is the most important thing. Everybody.
And how are you feeling health-wise so far in spring training?
So far so good. I'm not really push anything. My mindset, a little bit extra, always do something more and more and more. But the other side, just to shut it down. My mental on the other side is going to do something more always. But just good enough. Because we have a long season. I'm not 20 years old anymore, so I have to be smart about it.
Yeah, Shinsu, you had a great turnaround last year, and is there anything that you learned about yourself that you can take going forward that you want to make sure you do now that you weren't doing before?
Yeah, you know what? I wish really good start in the season, but I have 8-9 years in the big leagues. I think only 1 time, 2 times it was a good start. But, I learned from last year, not really care about, result, how you did it. Just more second half, I did it more how you did the process thing. So, 2014, last year, first half, I think more hit it like every at bat I hit it something. I do something. Everything, every stress coming to my shoulder. I'll try to do something by myself. But baseball, it's not. I can't do it by myself. Baseball is 9 players playing together, the 25 guys playing together. So second half I just did it. Little small things started. See the ball, see a strike, and then see a lot of pitches, swing a strike. That's what started, and then I got some hit the ball hard, hit the ball hard, and then, that's how it started, so then I really care about your joke. I didn't know how you did in the process in the second half.
Shinsu, you played on a number of big league teams, and the one thing that we hear the players talk about is how well everybody on this team gets along, the chemistry on the team. A lot of good guys all playing to win, all getting along in the clubhouse. Is this a fun team for you to play on? Oh,
no doubt. And I can tell this team, everybody hungry to win. So, this is unbelievable, especially Desmond. He joined our team like 10 days later. 10 days late, but he told me first thing, hey, Chu, I want to win. That's tell me, that's what we're looking for. We need really best fit for our teams, the winning. Not care about my number, not care about myself, but care about other team, other players, and then to help the team. That's what we always do.
Great.
Yeah.
Shinsu, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time.
All right, thank you.
It's fun to watch you guys play this way. Keep it going.
All right, thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shinsu Chu. And
let's see a recap that one, Buzz, while you were saying goodbye to Shinsu.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have to take a second look at that.
Let's just call it a double play.
Anyway, the side is retired, and we will go to the 6th inning. Rangers maintaining a large lead. They lead 9-2 on TXA 21. Oh, well, we were talking to Shinsu Chu and bidding him goodbye. The Rangers bid us goodbye. Here's how that inning ended. And it turns out to be your basic 1-5-3 double play. But
Boy, for a team that played the way the A's played in the 6-run inning in the 4th, that's a nice way to polish off the 5th inning.
Sure is. Chapman making the strong throw over to Muncy for the back end of that double play. So we are heading to the top of the 6th inning. And one of the newest members of the Rangers, Tom Wilhelmsen, one of the new members of that outstanding bullpen crew. Wilhelmsen coming over from the Seattle Mariners, and last year with Seattle. 53 games for Wilhelmsen, a 3.19 ERA and a 2-2 record. Opponents hitting just .246 against the right-hander last year. Now Stephen Vogt starting things off. Wilhelmsen deals ball 1. Wilhelmsen, a 32-year-old. He's from the Tucson, Arizona area. Interesting guy. Was out of baseball for a couple of years. Did some traveling and trying to figure out if he really wanted to put in the work to get back into baseball. Decided he did, and boy, since then, he has put in the work.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him on the Rangers. I just felt every time he came into the game for Seattle, we were going to have our hands full trying to hit him. He's got a good assortment of pitches and throws hard.
And
glad to have him.
Right off the end of the bat out to second. Oh, one gone.
That's a defensive changes, Buzz. I think that's Ryan Rua at first and Felix Carvalho at second. Up for the minor league camp. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, we have players that have the same number.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Might not have the right guy at second.
Kiner Falafa.
Okay.
Is the second baseman.
The other number 75.
Yeah. That might be the third
I
number.
looked on the wrong list.
Yeah, we got some changes in the outfield too. We'll get those to you.
I just picked the wrong one. They're side by side. 75, Kiner Falafa and Felix Carvalho.
There's
Ryan Rua, though.
He's at first base. Well, Jake Smolinski, 1 out of 2, is at the plate now. Hanser Alberto triggers the long throw and gets him for out number 2. And that'll bring up Max Muncy. So Tom Wilhelmsen And you know what is interesting, Tom, at least I find it interesting about the Ranger bullpen? You've got 4 guys down there that are bona fide closers. They have had experience closing. And you've got a guy like Keone Kela, who, may be a closer in waiting. But Jeff Bannister's not really... Well, we'll continue that as we head to the next inning. But he's not really hamstrung by only having 1 closer or 2 guys that have that. He's got a bunch of... Well, Tom Wilhelmsen showing you how easy it can be done. 3 ground balls, 3 outs after 5.5. 9-2 Texas on TXA 21. Folks, mark it down on your calendar. Sunday, April 17th, the first 7,500 kids at Globe Life Park will be treated to a pair of Delino to Shield socks. And no, they are not dirty ones. They are brand new ones. That's courtesy of Powerade Zero. Bring the whole family out. You can watch the Rangers take on the Orioles, the first Sunday matchup of the year. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to secure your seats. We guarantee you they are brand new. Delino has not worn them, but he does endorse them. Eric Surkamp dealing the first pitch of this 6th inning to Nomar Mazara. First chance to see Mazara at the plate today. We have certainly talked a lot about him. He and Lewis Brinson and Joey Gallo. And we won't see Lewis Brinson today probably, but we will see the other two. Mazara last year with Frisco, 284 with 13 home runs. Out to second base. And Mazara is out. 1 away. And Joey Gallo now stepping to the plate. Gallo launched his first home run of the spring yesterday. Part of a 2-for-3 afternoon. 3-run blast against the Brewers down at Maryvale. Backs away from a Surkamp breaking ball. Eric Surkamp, pretty tough left-hand to face. Look at the numbers for Gallo last season. Surkamp, originally a member of the Giants organization, and pitched a few times. That ball ripped to right center field. Into the alley and run down out there by the center fielder for the Yankees. What a play to take that rocket away from Joey Gallo.
It looked like Gallo, with his power, obviously didn't quite get all of that ball, but he got about 400 feet worth of it to right center field. So 2 outs. Andrew Alberto took over for
Adrian Beltran, he rifles one that just hooks foul down the third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Joey Gallo after that long out. He's starting to, he hit the ball hard twice yesterday. One of them left the ballpark. When that big guy starts putting the barrel to the ball, you're going to have some noise. It's one of those guys you can just listen to, and it sounds different coming off his bat than it does anybody else's. One ball and 2 strikes to Alberto. One pulled foul. That'll play to the right. I understand we're having a little bit of a technical glitch with our score on the screen for you, our score bug. We're working on it. We apologize. It's spring training for us too. Another 1-2. And another foul ball. Answer Alberto, and mostly known for his glove work, and he has been recognized as, a couple of years ago, the best defensive player in the minor leagues as a shortstop. And all of a sudden last year he went down to the winter ball and led the league in hitting. So it's all phases of his game really coming to the forefront. Alberto still just 23 years of age. Surkamp into the line. The left field hooking down the line into the corner. It is a fair ball, 1 hop off the wall. Alberto at second puts the brakes on. And he is aboard with a double.
Surkamp gave him a lot of different pitches in that at bat, and he battled all the way. He fouled a couple down the right side, a little bit out in front of a couple, and he pulled them foul. Finally, he got one, reached for it, kept it fair down the left field line for a double. A lot of good swings, showing the ability to make contact.
Well, Alberto at second after a 2-out double. Ryan Rua coming to the plate for his first at bat. Nothing in 1. Rua last year struggling with the injury bug. He was the starting left fielder for the Rangers opening day. Difficult after that, had a broken foot and several other assorted injuries. Grounds out here. That'll do it for the Rangers. No runs a hit. And 1 man left after 6. Remains the Rangers 9 and the A's 2 on TXA 21. Well, top of the seventh inning, I should say, and the A's come to bat, trailing the Rangers 9-2. And Keone Kela has come out of the Ranger bullpen to take over. Kela, the 22-year-old flame-throwing right-hander, deals it is strike one. Good to see Keone in the ballgame. A big year last year in his rookie campaign. 68 games. He was an integral part of that lockdown Ranger bullpen.
Well, those are great numbers for anybody, let alone a rookie. More strikeouts than innings pitched, low walk totals, low home run totals. He wasn't worked in necessarily in just comfortable situations where the game wasn't on the line. Right from the start, early in April, he was worked in late in ball games when the game was on the line, and he responded to all those pressure situations.
Breaking ball on the outside corner. Matt Chapman 0 for 2 this afternoon. He has grounded out twice, once into a double play. New catcher working with Keone Kela. That's Michael McHenry. Part of the depth the Rangers have at the backstop position. Yeah, McHenry and Bobby Wilson, Chris Jimenez, Robinson Chirinos. Check swing and it ticks foul. Kela with another 2-2 pitch. That's all the way to the backstop. A lot of talk last year. Keone Kela went through a couple of stages where the Rangers, out of concern for his arm's well-being, shut him down for 10 days and let him recoup a little bit. He reached a spot last year where he had never been innings-wise before. It's the pop-up from Chapman. And Drew Stubbs out there in right field battling that high sky, makes the catch. Well, that's out number one. But Kela, he only said, he learned a lot from that himself, and not just how to pitch that many innings, but he said what he had to do to prepare himself, and the mental strain was as much as the physical strain for him. It was very much a learning process, and you can understand that at age 22, that there would be a few things you hadn't faced before. Matt McBride now coming off the bench to taking at bat for Carson Blair. Blair ended the day going 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. One ball and one strike. Kela, born in Los Angeles and raised in the Seattle area. One and two. For McBride, just his 5th spring training at bat. He's looking for his first hit. Kela back to him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stadium radar gun, getting that at 95 miles an hour from Keone. And that's one thing you're going to see a lot of as you get into the Ranger bullpen. A lot of high octane coming in. There's Sam Dyson and Jake Diekman. Keone Kela, Tom Wilhelmsen all have the ability to throw in the mid to upper 90s consistently. John Tollison, probably the soft tosser of those, and he's the closer. So
Yeah, and he's probably 92, 94.
Yeah. Yeah, a soft tosser when you're talking about 94. That's
Nowadays, it seems like every guy that comes out of the bullpen is throwing somewhere between 93 and 100.
check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And McHenry retrieving it will throw on to Rua for the out. 2 gone. Yeah, boy, that may be the biggest change in baseball that I've noticed over the last 20 years. How many guys come out of the bullpen throwing 95 plus? It seems like everybody does.
1 or 2 in a bullpen, maybe. Now it's everybody. And if you don't throw that hard, then you probably got a specialty pitch, maybe a great sinker, split finger pitch.
Right.
But some kind of a plus pitch. Just don't see many average guys coming out of the bullpen for any team.
Maybe that's the new average.
New average it is, 95.
Yeah. Sam Fuld shoots one out of play to the left. And no balls and a strike. Fuld, a ground out and a fly out today. Rangers 9 runs on 7 hits this afternoon. The A's 2 runs on just 3 hits. A's have committed 2 errors. Rangers have committed 1. Kello with his 15th pitch of this inning. Sam Fuld figuring into the outfield mix for the Oakland A's this year. Takes that one a bit low, and it's 2-1. A's added a little bit. Chris Davis, they went out and got Chris with the K from Milwaukee. Figure in that outfield situation. Josh Reddick, Burns, Crisp. 3-1. Kello, the 4th pitcher used this afternoon by the Rangers. And he misses inside for ball 4. And Franklin Barreto will come up in the place of Billy Burns. Barreto, 3 out of 12. Keone Kela gets a visit from Doug Brocail. That didn't take long. Doug Brocail said he's working on that 30-second limit that has been mandated by Major League Baseball this year on visits to the mound. Barreto waiting. Right-handed hitter with that wide open stance. He takes inside for ball 1. Franklin Barreto last year at Stockton, California League at 302. Has some pop with 13 home runs. In spring, Barreto has hit 2 balls out of the ballpark. The 2 of his 3 hits have left the premises. Kello hits the outside corner. Sam Fuld, the runner at first base, with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Keone getting to that point where I don't think the Rangers would push him much beyond this hitter. He had 21 pitches under his belt. Kella studying the signs from Michael McHenry. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball, and that'll do it. A couple of strikeouts in the inning with a walk, and we'll take the 7th inning stretch here in Surprise with the Rangers leading 9-2 on TXA 21. Folks, it is a ballpark tradition, and it's back. That's Wednesday night tradition, by the way. Wednesday night, April 6th, is the first Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Day of 2016. Get to Globe Life Park for the last game in the opening series against the Mariners. And enjoy all the Texas Chili Company hot dogs that you can for $1 each. Visit TexasRangers.com and get your tickets. Liberal application of sunscreen needed today. Beautiful, bright, sunshiny day, and breeze drifting out towards center, maybe left center a little bit.
Ooh, boy, that guy needs to put a shirt on right there.
Sunscreen might have been a good idea a couple of hours ago.
That's going to hurt in the morning.
Probably. Yeah, Josh Morgan leading things off. Morgan came in place of Elvis Andrews. Morgan last year at High Hickory, the .288 average. Angel Castro, the new pitcher, he has gotten ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes very quickly. Castro, a veteran right-hander, he's 33. Out of the Dominican Republic.
I thought they brought Edward Santos back in the game.
Might have.
He looks just like him.
Yep. Castro was in 5 ball games last year with the A's and saw the Nashville numbers, 38 appearances down at AAA. For the A's last year, Castro 0-1 with a .225 in 4 innings of work. Originally a property of the Detroit Tiger organization. 1-2 pitch. Morgan is tossed out. 1 gone, and Pedro Siriaco will be coming up. The second baseman, by the way, and Chad Pinder. Here's Chad. We apologize if we don't have the changes right away as they occur. We're trying to keep up as best we can with it. Guys getting in and out of the ball game. Middle of spring training quite frequently. High drive to right, and that's going to settle in for a base hit. So Siriaco with a 1-out single is aboard. Now Kiner Falefa coming up. Isaiah Kiner Falefa. And he rips a ball into left center field. That is down for a hit. Siriaco is going to turn second, motor into third, and the Rangers have runners at the corners with one out. Kiner Falefa put some wood on that thing. Get a vicious rope into the gap. Castro not quite getting that ball inside where he wanted to, and Kiner Falefa made him pay for it. Rangers now with an equal number of hits and runs, 9 apiece. 2 on with 1 out. Michael McHenry coming to the plate. Castro's first pitch is in for strike 1. McHenry with a little bit over 4 years of major league service. He's a 31-year-old out of Tennessee. Played 3 years of college ball at Middle Tennessee State. The Rockies picked him in the 7th round of the 06 draft. 2 balls and a strike. Came up with Colorado in 2010. Went to Pittsburgh for about 3 years. And went back to the Rockies. Last season, you can see 4 home runs in 58 ball games for Colorado. Castro, a check of the runners. No swing on the appeal down to first. 2-1. Henry stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, goes about 205 pounds. And takes outside, 3 balls and a strike. Pedro Siriaco over at third base. Isaiah Kiner Falefa at first. And inside, ball 4. That'll load him up. And Drew Stubbs coming up. 6th walk issued to Ranger hitters here this afternoon. Rangers cashed in pretty frequently early in the ballgame with the walks.
Some of the guys in the game this afternoon played in the morning game, too, the B game. Most of the guys are at the ballpark well before 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So they put in some long days. When the regular season starts, it's got to feel like a vacation.
Yeah.
They get out here early. They do weight training, probably have breakfast. Then they do drills, batting practice, fielding practice. Some of them play in a B game, inter-squad game. Then some of those same guys come out and serve as extra men in the regular game. Long days in spring training.
Yep. Yeah, you are right about that. Stubbs grounded into a double play, his first time at bat today. Got the bases full of Ranger teammates. Shallow into right field. And a play out there, it's dropped. And now the throw coming to the plate, everybody's going to be safe. Oh, my goodness.
That didn't go well.
No. Matt Olson, the right fielder, came on. Looked like he was thinking about trying to catch it and unload as quickly as possible. And as a result, he came up with nothing.
Yeah, once he dropped the ball, the only way, he's got a force out at the plate, but he didn't really have a play at the plate. He probably had an easy play at second base to get a force out. But after he dropped the ball, he kind of panicked right here and just launched it toward home. An easy play at second base.
That's going to go down as a sacrifice fly credited to Drew Stubbs, and an error allowing Stubbs to reach. Bases remain loaded with one out. It's a 10-2 lead, and it's going to be more now as Mazzara pounds a base hit to right field. In to score Kiner Falefa, and the bases remain loaded. It's now 11-2 as Omar Mazzara continues his torrid spring.
It seems like every game he plays, he gets a hit and knocks in a run. Grounded out to second the first time up, and found a hole with this hard ground ball.
Two runs across, still just one out. And Joey Gallo up there. Gallo entered the ball game in the 6th inning and takes inside for ball one. Gallo's first at bat, he crushed one to exactly 400 feet to dead center field. Unfortunately, it's how far the wall is, and it stayed just in the ballpark. High and tight, 2 balls and no strikes. I can kind of see this one going a long way. The way Castro's throwing.
He throws it down and out over the plate. I'd be right there with you. He got ahead 2-0 yesterday against Matt Garza. And Garza threw him a fastball that ended up 400 feet away in right field. Yeah, sure, that's going through Joey's mind right now with 3 men on base. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Popped up on the left side of the diamond. And it's going to drop. Now they've got to play at the plate, and it gets by everybody.
Man, I've never seen a couple innings like these innings.
The infield fly rule was in effect. I'm not sure you can do that with a high sky, but Joey Gallo is out.
As far as he missed that ball by, that thing was far from a sure thing.
Goodness gracious.
Well, he had a pitch looking for a fastball. He just got underneath it. Let's take a look at that high sky and what the result is. Both infielders are near the ball. I think the third baseman saw it. He just couldn't catch it.
Yeah. So it is a 12-2 Ranger lead. Gallo does not get an RBI on that play. I do not believe, and the error allowing the run to score from third. And that pitch gets by, and now coming in to score is Drew Stubbs. Slides in safely on the wild pitch. It is 13-2.
Well, these are 2 of the ugliest innings you'll ever see. The 4th inning and the 7th inning. Man.
The A's have 4 errors in the ball game, and they've come in those 2 innings.
I'm glad we're not announcing this game from the A's point of view.
Isn't that the truth?
That would be a tough one. 36 players, 4 errors, 18 walks. How many walks have there been? 5? Not that many. 6. A few hit batters, though. A couple of hit batters.
Yeah, if you want to call a walk and a hit batter a pitcher's error, that's 8 there, and then the 4 other errors. 2-1 the count to Hanser Alberto. Now 2-2. So a 13-2 Ranger lead at this juncture. Alberto doubled into the left field corner his first time up. Got him on the foot. The hands are back in there. Got him swinging. Well, Castro puts it into the inning, but Rangers come up with 4 more runs. They strand a runner on 2 errors and 3 hits. We'll go to the 8th inning. It's 13-2 Texas.
LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rangers Baseball LLC.
Well, the Rangers really putting it to the A's here this afternoon. 13-2 as we head to the top of the 8th inning, and new pitcher on the hill. For your Rangers, it'll be the right-hander Steve Johnson, a 28-year-old out of Baltimore, son of former Major Leaguer Dave Johnson, who pitched for the Pirates, Baltimore, among others, also Detroit. Steve Johnson signed as a minor league free agent by the Rangers in the offseason. Last year in Baltimore, had 6 ball games. Spent most of the year at AAA Norfolk. He is going to work here in the 8th inning. That ball is crushed to center field. Back at the wall, and Siriaco's watching this one head on out of here. Chad Pinder driving it to dead center field. It's a 13-3 game.
Much to cheer about for the A's today, but there's one to cheer about for Chad Pinter. That one felt good. Launched that halfway up in the berm over the 400-foot sign in center field.
Just the 4th hit of the afternoon for the Oakland club. And Pinder made it count. He hit it out of the ballpark. Now Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman, is up there. Pretty good extension. You get that pitch down and out over the plate. And a guy with some power can drive that a long way, and he did. Steve Johnson back to the plate. And he hits Ladendorf. Fastball got him in the small of the bat.
Well, you come into a game halfway through the game hoping to get a couple of at-bats and show your manager what you can do, and instead get drilled right in the back. A couple of pitches get away from the guys today. Way inside.
That was one of those ones you were talking about, Tom, where it's just far enough behind you where you don't have any place to go.
He almost freeze on those.
Andrew Lambeau is the hitter, taking the place of Stephen Vogt. DH here this afternoon. Lambeau last year, a little taste with the A's, didn't have a whole lot of success. Swing and a miss. Johnson ready, a check of first. Steve Johnson, originally drafted by the Dodgers back in the 2005 June draft, 13th round. Signed that year with the Dodgers. Made his major league debut 7 years later, 2012, with Baltimore. That pitch gets away from McHenry on the strikeout, so down to second goes Leidendorf. And that is out number one.
A nice slow curveball from Steve Johnson. Almost served like a changeup. Really fooled the hitter.
There will be a strikeout, the first one recorded by Steve Johnson. The wild pitch allows Leidendorf to get to second. Angel Ravello is the hitter. Oh, one pitch to him. That's in the dirt. He gets away from McHenry, who has to track it down in front of the third base dugout. The second wild pitch of the inning, uncorked by Steve Johnson. They both come on that breaking ball. Two balls and a strike. AAA last year, Ravello, a home run and 18 driven in for Nashville. Takes a strike there to even the count. McHenry flashing the signs out. Johnson gets what he wants. We'll come back and try it again at 2-2. In the dirt, and ball three. Michael McHenry's had to do a little more running around back there this inning than he cared to. Went down blocking balls, some have gotten away, and it has just been a difficult inning. Steve Johnson trying to prevent any further damage. The leadoff home run by Pinder got it started. Another foot is beaten into the ground. Dr. Scholl's going to have a lot of folks to work with after this thing is over.
There have been a lot of those today, more than normal. And a lot of pitches thrown today, too.
Steve Johnson getting set to work his 18th of this inning. Diving attempt by Josh Morgan. It's by him into left field, and in to score Leidendorf. It's now a 13-4 ball game. As Ravello gets the RBI base hit. Steve Johnson getting that fastball that stayed on the plate inside about belt high. Matt Olson is the hitter now. Left-handed. Swinging Oakland A. Olson last year at Midland, Double-A Midland. 17 home run campaign. He hit 249. One ball and one strike. Just off the outside corner, 2-1. Rangers looking for that double play grounder at an infielder. Johnson gets the back door with a breaking ball. I mentioned at the outset the Rangers with an ERA of an even 4 coming into the ball game today. That's the best mark in Arizona. Swinging strike 3. Steve Johnson rings up his second punch out there, 2 gone, and Nunez coming up. But that's, you say, well, what's so good about 4? In Arizona, that is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
You figure that they're about. ERAs down here are probably about a run higher than they would be during the regular season.
Probably because, a lot of reasons. We've seen it in the 2 games we've done. Balls that fall in because they're lost in the sun, lost in the high sky. You also see a lot of balls, the field gets baked around home plate. Big high choppers go over the third baseman and the first baseman. We haven't seen many of those today, but they add to the base hit. The infield gets hard in the sun. So it's a little bit tough pitching down here. Best chance a pitcher's got is strike someone out. You won't have to worry about those other things.
That's good look at Billy Parker Field at Surprise Recreation Campus. Foul tip, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And the ball seems to carry pretty well down here too. Lighter air.
Carries, yep.
Usually a breeze in most ballparks, drifting out the way it is today here in Surprise, drifting out to right center field. 0-2 pitch. Instead, we'll have time called. Just inside. Nunez might have been looking outside. He had a tough time getting that bat back out of the way. Two and 2. This is the second meeting of the 3 scheduled games between the Rangers and A's down here in the Arizona sun. To left field, that's going to be in for extra bases as he plugs the gap. Ravello coming around third will score. And Nunez in with an RBI double. It is 13-5. That is the 6th hit of the afternoon, and for the Oakland A's. That's going to do it for Steve Johnson. Got Bannister out to take the ball from the right-hander. He's going to make a call to the bullpen, and we have a pitching change underway here in Surprise. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this on TXA 21. A lot of offense at Surprise Recreation Campus here this afternoon, and a lot of sun for the folks to enjoy. Chad Smith has come out of the Ranger bullpen, and he will take over on the mound. Smith, 26-year-old right-hander. Smith appeared last year briefly for the Oakland A's. There's 2 ball games in Oakland, and then split time, Nashville, which is AAA, Salt Lake City, which is AAA, and Frisco for the Rangers, of course, AA. Now Smith, an opportunity here to take over for Steve Johnson. Matt McBride is the hitter. Nunez out at second. Right off the fist, knocked down nicely by Smith, and a 1 pitch, and he ends the 8th inning. The A's come up with 3 runs on 3 hits and lead 1 after 7.5. It's the Rangers 13 and the A's 5 on TXA 21.
Too busy.
Thirteen to 5, Rangers leading the A's as the Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Oakland A's as folks enjoying all facets of Billy Parker Stadium out here at Surprise Recreation Campus. And a nice crowd on hand this afternoon, and enjoying the great sunshine, the cool temperatures in the mid-70s or so this afternoon. Very, very nice day with a gentle breeze drifting out towards center field. Ryan Brazier is the new pitcher. Brazier, a right-hander, and he's from Wichita Falls, Texas. Signed a minor league contract last July with the Oakland A's, pitching briefly for the Angels, his original organization. He goes to work with Ryan Rua at the plate. Rua 0 for 1. Grounded out to third his first time up. High and tight. Brazier pitched collegiately at Weatherford Community College. Taken by the Angels in the 6th round of the 2007 draft. Out of play well down the right side. 2 balls and a strike to Rua. Big 2-hopper out to Pinder at second. And the throw is wide, pulling Ravello off the bag, and Rua is going to be safe. That's going to be the 5th error of the afternoon charged to the Oakland A's.
Several of the plays have been pretty routine plays. A little pop-up to right field that was dropped. This is about as routine a play as a second baseman can get. The throw just sailed a little bit on Chad Pinder. In fact, a little bit more than a little bit.
Yeah. No, 1 on, nobody out. Josh Morgan up for his second at bat. Takes ball 1. Morgan a ground ball to second in his first trip to the plate. Ryan Brazier, who made his major league debut back in 2013 with the Angels. It's that breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Spent the entire 2014 season on the disabled list. 2-1. Yeah, 3 balls and a strike. Brazier had Tommy John surgery on June 10th of 2014. Right-hander is ready. Rua not being held on at first. High in the air to left field. Rodriguez toward the line makes the catch. Rua staying at first, 1 gone. Next will be Pedro Siriaco. Siriaco 1 for 1 today. Had a single in the 7th inning. One ball and no strikes. Mentioned the Rangers and A's meeting for the second time this spring here today. The Rangers won the first meeting 10-3 over Oakland. That was Tuesday over in Mesa. A's playing at Hohokam, where the Cubs had maintained a home for the number of years. Cubs built themselves a brand new facility right down the road.
Have you seen the Cubs yet?
I have not.
I have. I've heard it's just unbelievable, which is hard to imagine it could be any better than this, but evidently it takes it to a new level.
From what what I was told, I think it was the same group that developed the talking stick.
Is it?
Yeah, that developed that one down there. And that talking stick where the Diamondbacks and Rockies have their complex is magnificent.
Sure is.
One ball, two strikes. Little looper to left field. Rodriguez is going to pull up and play on a hop. Suriaco with his second hit is aboard. First and second with one out. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is coming for his second at bat. The Rangers now 11 hits this afternoon. Kiner-Falefa singled to center in that seventh inning. He had a pretty solid line drive for the base hit. Another line drive to center. Coming on, though, Leidendorf makes the catch and fires back to second. Rua able to beat the throwback. Well, Kiner-Falefa, he's laying out some ropes.
Well, Leidendorf's not playing that deep in center field, and he got a nice jump. Well hit ball by Falefa. One of those balls looks like a line drive single to center off the bat. And then you go, oh no, that's going to carry all the way to the center fielder.
Two gone. Here's Michael McHenry. McHenry drew a walk. First trip to the plate today. Well, the Rangers and A's will again meet either 18 or 19 times this year. 19 times again. The series, the last 3 years, has been decided with the better team winning 10. It's been a 10-9 split the last 3 years. The A's have won twice. The Rangers have won once. Rangers winning the series in 2014. In between the two A's wins. Two 2-0 to McHenry. That bay all the way to the backstop. And even though it comes right back into the catcher, it can't stop the runners from advancing 90 feet. So second and third now on the wild pitch. Frazier back to the plate and misses for ball four. That is going to load them up. It'll bring Drew Stubbs up for his third at bat.
A lot of people staying right till the bitter end, too.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of people in the shade have little jackets on. Not that it's cold, but compared to what it is a lot of times in Arizona, when it's in the mid 90s, it's about a perfect day for a ball game.
It was even this morning. It was kind of brisk.
It was.
Down.
Yeah.
Temperatures down in the low 50s.
I would like to look down in the scout section and see how many scouts stay till the bitter end in a game like this, and most of them did.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, if you got to do reports on teams, you have to stay till the end in these games because you never know who's going to be playing in the end.
Right.
What pitcher you're going to get a chance to see.
Yeah.
Thanks for long days for the scouts. Some of the scouts, I'm sure, scouted the B game.
There were a number of them over there.
And then came over to this game, had a little lunch in the press dining room, and came out for this game.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Now 1-2. Stubbs reached on an error A little bloop fly ball to right field that was dropped out there last time up. High and tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedro Siriaco getting his lead out there at second. And Stubb fouls it away. Rangers continue their spring tomorrow. Derek Holland gets a start against the Angels over in Tempe at the Angels ballpark. Breaking ball is outside. The count is full. Holland and Matt Shoemaker. That ball game we will not have for you on the air, but it will be on the Ranger Radio Network. Here to catch Eric and Matt. Full count with 2 outs. Runners on the move. Ball 4. Walks in a run. 14-5 as Ryan Rua crosses home plate. Second RBI of the afternoon for Drew Stubbs. And Nomar Mazara gets another opportunity.
I'll cap it off with a grand slam here.
Mazara had an RBI single last inning. And he takes a strike at the knees. Mazara now 9 for 16. A home run and 8 RBI. Ryan Brazier studying the signs. Now the right-hander is ready. In the air to center field. And Leidendorf has a play back right on the edge of the warning track. That will do it. Now the Rangers add 2 more. They leave the bases full. We're going to the 9th inning. Rangers leading 14-5. Folks, a Rangers destination package offers you a chance to hit the road with your Texas Rangers this season. Packages include first-class hotel accommodations, a meet and greet with a Rangers player, a VIP ballpark tour, and a whole lot more. Visit TexasRangers.com/destinations for the 2016 trip lineup. And there are some good ones. Now the A's come to bat here in the top of the 9th inning. They're trailing 14-5. And the first pitch to Josh Rodriguez sails high for ball 1. Chad Smith, who came on to get the final out of the 8th inning. This is with that pitch. Rodriguez over the top of that. Rodriguez last year at Birmingham, 19 home runs. He's got some pop. 0 for 5 this spring. And he's evened the count with that swing at 2 balls, 2 strikes. I said Binghamton. Should have been Birmingham. Whatever.
You know what? I would not have been able to correct you.
Well, the guys
didn't register that it was wrong to me.
Our crack production crew is always on the ball.
What, they're on the truck. If they corrected you on that one, they are on the ball here in the 9th inning. If they caught that one.
For all I know, it could have been Buffalo. I don't know. It's fouled out of play. There it is, Binghamton.
I like the story that Ray Fosse told before the game. We're talking about all the players that play in these spring training games, and he said Dwayne Kuiper, who's a great announcer for the San Francisco Giants, in one spring training game they had so many extra guys coming into the game. They put a guy out in left field, and he said it was his next door neighbor. He just made up the name.
Yeah.
Bob Smith's out in left field. Bob's from.
His neighbor asked him if he got pension time for that.
From Burlingame, California.
This one popped up. Hanser Alberto shielding his eyes with that glove, and there is out number 1. Well, honestly, in spring training, the number of players that are run in and out, especially this time of year and earlier, it's pretty tough. You could throw somebody out there.
The thing that makes you try as hard as you can, though, especially when the game's on TV, is, the mom might be watching, the dad might be watching, and we don't mean to make fun of it.
No.
There are a lot of players, and they all deserve respect and to be recognized. So we are doing our best to come up with the names and the positions, but sometimes it's not easy. Especially when there's 2 or 3 number 75s from the minor league camp.
Well, that makes it challenging,
with no names on the back.
That makes it challenging. Barreto is the hitter, and he fouls one off to the right. So Chad Smith with the advantage in the count at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Barreto 3 out of 13 now, hitting at .231.
People might say, well, why do you have 2 people with the same number? Well, when you've got 120 in minor league camp and 60 more in the big league camp, unless you're going to 3 digits, you're going to have people with the same number. I wonder if any teams do that. Number 117, 102.
No, it wouldn't surprise me. Fouled back to the screen again.
But if we think it's hard to announce their names as they come into the game, what about the guys that work in the clubhouse and at the end of the day have to wash all the uniforms and put them back in the right lockers? We think our day is long. Those kids get out here at about 4 o'clock in the morning and don't leave till who knows what time at night. They'll have a bed and sleep in the clubhouse.
I would imagine that's been done before.
Yeah.
2-2, the count to Barreto. This one popped foul off the fist back behind the plate. Well, Franklin Barreto having a pretty good set to with Chad Smith. Rangers 14 runs on 11 hits this afternoon. They've committed 1 error. A's 5 runs on 6 hits. And they have a whole handful of errors, 5 of them. And another chopper. This one foul outside the bag at third.
Much movement.
There you go. So you stick around, you get a get a souvenir.
That's why it's worthwhile to stay till the end of the ball game. Ranger fans, probably from Texas, stay until the last out. Ended up with a baseball because of it.
And some folks down there are going to have one too. That harmlessly in the vacated area of seats. Oh, poor guy couldn't find it. There we go.
We will when you get to the Elite Eight.
They'll be talking about this for a while. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. That'll do it. 2 outs. Chad Smith with his first punch out. And Chad Pinder now will come up.
Tough to tell. This stage of the game, though, it's going to have a hard time not getting that call.
Yeah.
Chad Pinder launched one the last time up. He launched one over the side and left, over the 400-foot side in left center field. Went about 3/4 of the way up the green berm out there.
1 ball, no strikes. Pinder's home run and Stephen Vogt's home run back in the first, accounting for 3 of the 5 Oakland runs. It's out of play to the right. Rangers, meanwhile, got a 3-run home run from Adrian Beltre right in the middle of that 6-run 4th inning.
Hickory, North Carolina.
1-1 is in at the knees. Well, the A's now down to their final strike. Crowd of 6,842 on hand this afternoon. The remainder of that crowd applauding, hoping for the final pitch of the ball game. Got him swinging. And they do indeed see that. Chad Smith strikes out the last 2 that he faces, and the Rangers riding some charity by the A's. Make it count this afternoon. Rangers defeat Oakland today 14-5. We will total things up for you. Take a break. We'll be back right after this on TXA 21.